Hi, welcome back. So for this one we're going to be making some mince pies.
Yeah.
So this will be the sterilisation of the jars, the mince meat and the actual making. So sit back, enjoy and enjoy eating. So first thing we need to sort out is with our mince pies, because we're doing quite a lot of mince meat, we're going to sterilise some jars. So at the minute I've got a pot of hot water on here.
Be careful.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, be careful. And I'll just try and move this around so we can see it. So we need to get it at, and I can move it. So it's around 83 degrees for sterile. So I'll try and zoom in a bit. So yes, where it says sterilise, there, we need to get it up to that point. So that's 82 degrees. And then it'll be a case of, we can then put our jars in. So I'll come back to you once that's done. So it's come up to the point where they are, well, it's at sterilisation. So I've put the 2 jars in that I'm going to use, because I'm going to use some anyway.
Yes.
And I've also put on the mince meat. They're going gone the wrong way. So yeah, that's all in the pot. So there's quite a lot of brandy in the pack that I used. If you want to make it yourself, then please do. But I'm just going to use the bag stuff because I couldn't find what I needed for it. I am going to add some butter in once it's kind of reduced a little bit.
And I'm cutting up cherries.
And she's cutting up cherries. Do you want to show the people what you're doing then?
So I get the cherry, put it, well, use a butter knife and then
Squish.
And if it gets stuck like this, I just cut another underneath and it comes off.
Yeah, so she's just cutting up some cherries to go in
This is the last one.
You need to cut them in half again. They need to be small bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to wait for this to warm up and then we can add some butter in there. So for the inside of the filling as well, that's 150 grams of butter. That's going to go in there and we'll leave it to melt. So first thing we're going to do is measure out which cutter we need. So I have a feeling it's going to be my kind of turquoisey one here. So the plan is to kind of sit over your mould. It's got to be slightly bigger, so I was wrong. Well, I think I was anyway. Have a look. Might be a bit too much, that one. Yeah, because it's got the drop and everything, so... let's go with the light green one and see how we get on. Let's put them over there. So we're going to lightly oil our tin, just because my tins are absolute crap and I don't want them sticking. If I do kind of a light drizzle, you still should be able to see there's quite a lot of oil there. So I'm just going to work that between the 12. I have got another tin just in case I have enough pastry, but I didn't work it out at the time because I was in a rush to get home, because going out in the shops near Christmas, it's busy and yeah, it's like an absolute nightmare. So let's get our oil in. To be fair, I could probably put some of the oil in the other tin, which I think I'm going to do. And let's move that out of the way. So yeah, don't worry about my tin, guys. My tins are like years old, so don't worry about the state of them. They are clean. It's just the way they appear. Yeah, don't worry. They are clean. So let's get that one in there. Just get this oiled through. That's our puff pastry sheet. Nice, not puff pastry, short crust pastry. There we go. That's it rolled out. So we're going to start with going right to the edge, just to see how many we can get out, first of all, without it sticking on my pastry cutter. You can use flour on your pastry cutter, but I'm not going to. Just because that was the way that I was taught to do it. So yeah, there you go. Right, so I'm just going to continue along just until I have as many as possible. I mean, it'd be nice if I got 24 out of it. Then I could fill both trays then. But we will see. So I'll come back to you guys once I've cut them out and I'll let you know how many I managed to get. What I am doing with the spare dough left over from crimping out my pastry bottoms is I'm making stars for the top. Now you can do round lids for these, it's totally up to you, but for these I'm doing stars this time just because it's different. So yeah, literally I've bundled up the pastry into a ball, rolled that out, and we got to that kind of thing. So I'm just cutting my stars out. Just make sure that they fit the circles of your pie tins, otherwise you won't be getting very far, essentially. So I've just put them on a tray just so they're ready there waiting for when I've done the bottoms. So just to show you guys what I mean about stamping them in, so pop them in and then just spread them out. If it is a little bit short, you can just push the pastry in, which is quite forgiving, short crust pastry, which is nice. Just make sure you get all the air bubbles out the bottom, because you don't want that puffing up in the oven and spilling your mincemeat everywhere, because it's an absolute disaster. So we'll get these two done, and we'll get the mincemeat that we made earlier in the video out, and we can scoop that in. There a minute. Right, so using the mince pie meat that I made earlier in the video, we're just going to scoop in probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon's worth, just depending obviously how full you can get your, well, how deep your holes are in your tray. Mine aren't that deep in this, to be fair, so I'm probably just going to put, as I said, about 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon in, because you don't want them too full, because as I said, they're going to overflow in the oven. So that's that. So I'll come back to you when it's ready to put the stars on. So here's a nice little interesting fact while I'm filling up the mince pies. So in terms of my granddad, he used to make these every single year, regardless, and it was a case of, he used to make them, he used to use shop bought, obviously, mince pie meat, and he used to make them, and then he used to get them out the oven, wait till they was a bit cold, then he used to peel the pastry off, eat the pastry, and then throw the mince pie meat in the bin. So for him, he didn't really like mince pie meat, but it was a fact of, he liked the taste of it, so just used to kind of eat that, eat the pastry, and then throw the rest in the bin. Yeah, there's a nice little kind of weird, interesting fact for you all. Why I fill the rest of my mince pie cases. Yeah, thought I'd share that with you while I'm filling it up. Oh yeah, just to let you guys know, preheated my oven to 180, 160 fans, that'd be gas mark 4. So I'll come back to you guys once they're all filled. So that is the stars put on. So it's just going to be a case of dusting the top with some milk. You can do egg wash if you want, but as tradition stands, as I know to make them anyway, I put milk on. So I'm going to do all 24 of these, and then I'm going to put them in the oven at the time that I suggested, probably for about 15-20 minutes. Just keep your eyes on them until they're nice kind of golden brown, and then I'll show you guys what they're like when they come out. So this is the mince pies now they come out of the oven, so they actually do look quite nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, on this one. So if you like this one, go like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see all you lovely people in the next episode. See you later.